Hi, and welcome to the Deep Dive, where I, the creator of the Deep End, will go more in depth about each of my shows. This is show number 4. I will go over the processes of making the show, performing the show, and re listening back to it. Then I will give my final thoughts. Alrighty, so to start off with making it, firstly, I chose a new format. Well, at least kind of a new format. Essentially, I mean, obviously you heard it, I switched DJP and Croton's role, even though that changed up how I wrote their dialogue. Because normally, with Croton, I'm more focused on just telling the story. But as DJ, I wanted to actually try performing the story. That way, it didn't just sound like random text that would probably make your brain go numb the more you listen to it. So for this one, I put in a lot of thought into it. Like, it's not like I don't put in any thought into my other shows, but this one took a lot of thought, especially because I was like actively trying to impress people. And so, like, when I was looking it over, I was like actually excited to do this. I got to do something different. And it was like really exciting to know that this will eventually be shared with not just my class, but you listening right now. Next, for when I was performing it, this is probably where my confidence was at its highest. Not like I didn't have high confidence for some of my other shows, but this one is where like the morale boost definitely came in at its like core peak. This is where making these stories was actually really fun, and doing these shows were less of a hindrance and more of a like fun side hobby essentially. So it also showed with my better energy, especially as I really came through with DJPLL. And ultimately, I just like the story a lot better. Not like Wendy's was any worse, but I feel like I don't know. To me, Wendy's felt like it could have been mixed in with anyone else's general story, but with the story of Fragiko, it felt like I actually created something new, like never before seen. Personally, I like the story a lot more than the previous one. Not like the previous one was any worse, but I feel like this one really like grabbed attention, at least to me. But I still made my mistakes, which I gotta expect at this point. Okay, so now when I re listened back to it, I was really proud, like prouder than before. And in fact, this is most definitely one of my favorite shows, which isn't a lot. But I was most glad about the stabilized voices. I feel like DJPLL finally, like, I mean, his voice wasn't too hard to do. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm doing it right now, but Croton's is when I actually was thinking about dropping down lower to him. Mind the voice crack. Now, my final thoughts are pretty much I really like how I finally seemed to find the balance I needed to do these shows. Obviously, when it comes to the later shows, I don't really go back to this original format, but when it came to the other ones I've done so far, I feel like I had finally gotten to the point I was originally trying to do back in the first episode. And with that, that is the end of this deep dive. If I didn't answer a question you may have had, then feel free to drop it down into the comments, and then I will try to answer it as soon as I can. And with that, you have yourself a great day.